Free them on. You bring me in?
Hold on.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold. We'll be able to. You are now
I got two choices, poverty or provide for the poor. Plus I'm fully prepared to collide with the law. I said I think we need 1 million men marching in the streets again. Think we need 1 million men marching with their peace in hand. Sometimes you gotta go to war just to have peace again. Rest in peace to Martin. Time to treat us like kings again.
Y'all the same motherfuckers that came to kill the Chairman Fred. You're the same motherfuckers that murdered Malcolm. Got the gold and got to be out, you know. Why they keep killing each other? Why they respect their mother? What they daddies at? Why they eat being black? Why they stay unemployed? Why they gon' vote?
Have you sent the 6 write-ups from 6 previous shows? Have you emailed them to Chairman Fred Jr. spelled out? Abraham Legend. We need 6 write-ups. Have you sent those in? 6 write-ups from 6 previous Freedom Radio shows. Hands up, eyes open, and fist clench. Y'all know what this is and how we do this. Let's get locked and loaded for another episode of Freedom Radio here live at Intellectual Radio, 929-477-3785. Then press 1 to get in, or 708. Well, you can't call 708 because I'm on that line right now. Okay. Y'all, so let's get tuned in. Let's get cubbed in. Let's make history. Let's take history. Let's take history. Weekly program of the Black Panther Party Cubs, hosted by yours truly, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., and also Robert Allen, a.k.a. the Lady of Rage. Let's make history. Let's take history. Let's take history. Right on. Y'all can't take a pause for the calls. Open those front doors, those back windows, and let them know that, again, it's another episode, May 26, 2021. Freedom Radio. Intense times, intense politics. You dig what I'm saying? We just come up that grill in front of the Hampton House, the same grill my granddaddy barbecued on. You dig? We serve hot food and we serve hot politics. We don't wait to become safe. To talk about situations, we can get you hot off the presses, real talk. So we hope y'all know we got people locked and loaded. Got us a young brother guest in the studio with us. I know some callers gonna be calling in. Bear with us. No, matter of fact, scratch that. Cub with us. You know what I'm saying? Cub with us. We going. If you tripping about going certain locations, you got a fear. You know what I'm saying? This might not be the ride for you. Because we ride, you know what I'm saying? We going from Columbia, to, you know what I'm saying, to back to Chicago. We all over. We're talking about what's happening, you know, so what's the climate like in Columbia? What's going down, the uprisings, you know what I'm saying, happening over there. I think Bogota, the capital, but in particularly Cali, Colombia, was real heated. And the narrative is even from the ruling class, from the state. You know, I think President, Dawn, I don't know if I'm saying his name incorrect, but they're saying that the narrative is that this is in response to the tax reforms that the government was initially implemented during the initial stages with the COVID, with the pandemic, and you know, there was a lot of different laws and legislation that people were talking about implementing, or they put in place that we still don't know about. You know what I'm saying? When the pandemic kicked in, it's kind of like, you know, you be in the house for a long time, you come out like, man, I ain't know my neighbors moved, and such and such died. So it's gonna be a lot of situations that people come to grips with. And you know what I'm saying? I even said a while ago, watch one of the days these restrictions. You know what I'm saying? Particular places like Chicago, you know, it's gonna be like one of the hot days. In fact, I think when I was in New York, it was the hottest day since the pandemic, and they, you know what I'm saying, and you know, I go, you know, going for school for a period of time, come back, you know what I'm saying, throwing out those old beefs, old heats, all that type of stuff, you know. And this situation, I mean, we have yet to see what type of seeds have been planted, you know what I'm saying, the vegetation is going to be growing, and you know what I'm saying, as well as dying. In regards to this climate, you know what I'm saying, I mean, a lot of people have not we already had a climate of people who really not able to interact or have no social skills with each other. You know what I'm saying? Due to social media and other dynamics. So the coronavirus, again, is capitalism on steroids. So it's going to be more intensified. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, let's do this. I just see somebody just texting and said they've been trying to join the Black Panther Party Cubs. Again, make sure those 6 letters have been got to us. I say that because, the young brother right here, he was in the studio. He called, he wanted to sit down with me. And I said, me at the Freedom Radio. We get a lot of calls. And this is no slight, but every morning people, I don't get involved in the struggle. I don't do this and that. And most of them fall off when we say, meet us at the courtroom, meet us on the street, meet us at our office, and that submit this, get those. I want to become a Panther Cub. Write those, get us those 6 write-ups from from previous Freedom Radio shows. Get that summation of why you want to be a Cub. Get that. What's your assessment of the Black Panther Party? It's like a relationship. Guy might say, "Lady, I like her." She, yeah, what you into. What's your next? That conversation is whole. On second thought, I'm go for easy situation. Go look for greener grass, or what I'm saying, or what have you. This movement, is so many, and I don't ever want to get to the point that we don't welcome, new blood of fresh ideas. But the deal is, it's a tactic. Kind of like Muhammad Ali would have a boxing tactic. He would wear people out, just let them swing, and it can wear on you. It can wear and tear on you. We just they're constantly engaging. Excursion futility. I'll be through certain situations. It'd be like that movie. I think Groundhog. Dan Aykroyd played some sort of Groundhogs. That every day they just get up in the same situation. Because the deal is, we utilize the philosophical tool dialectical materialism, and that dialectical materialism basically is we come to grips with situations or assess situations through past history and logic. You know what I'm saying? We be like, well, how you know it's going to happen? We assess situations, we move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just, simply metaphysicalism. So we're just, I hope this is going to happen this way. I feel this. We take, whether it be the class contradiction or what have you, these are the politics of that. So, that being said, this is a time where, it's pros and cons, new energy. So we welcome that. But again, put some, we have the skin in the game, to catch that ear, So again, Abraham, let us know. And I'm self-critical. We self-critical about, we're trying to up the end. We getting our websites together. I got to check the emails more, the Black Panther Party Cubs. We're working on that. But in the meantime, you send the Chairman Fred Jr. Jr. spelled out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I got a text. I can't see that. Y'all, Colombia is hot. Colombia is hot. And keep in mind, some of these rebellions. Put in historical context these different locations, some history of them. The seasoning period, the breaking process, with the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the English, and the Dutch, so on and so forth. With the kidnapping of, Africans and, dispersing us throughout the diaspora. You're going through, the Cuba, Haiti in particular, that the resistance there, representing the first, free black republic. And to this day, that the stain in the brain and the mark in the heart that they left, and the Europeans and the colonialists shook them, And we see the type of tactics that the colonialists still do with, Dominican Republicans as opposed to Haiti, still saddling, the French still saddling Haiti with the debt. Again, still something they owe them. And this system never forgets. So when you see these uprisings and rebellions in historical context, and even some of the terms, they talk about in Colombia, talking about challenging this what they refer to as tax reform. And you look at certain dynamics, like with the American Revolution, that was a major term. They talk about taxation without representation. You know what I'm saying? And though they didn't come up themselves, the colonials and just straight up go against the British, toe to toe, they did taxes like, dressing like the indigenous community, the native people, saying, the Boston Tea Party, where natives supposed to have done this, or they got Christopher addicts of, a couple of sips, a couple of extra cups of that ale behind the bar, the tavern, send them out there, had them on the front line getting down. So this, this is a tactic. This is a tactic that the colonialists have historically utilized, having black people in particular, other colonized people, you know what I'm saying, on the front line fighting their battles, whether it be between the World War I, World War II, Civil War, American Revolution, the election of last year, you know what I'm saying, what have you. You know, so this is a historical tactic, you know what I'm saying, that they have, you have a battle of gangsters, you know what I'm saying, you know, they're fighting, but again, they have the colonized community, you know what I'm saying, on the front line doing their fights. So we here. What else we got? Oh, we talking about this panel. There was a phenomenal panel. I didn't get to see it in total, but in complete. 1 year later, yesterday marking, I'll be hesitant with using these terms. I'm going to go with it for the sake of argument, anniversary. And let's go with this, the acknowledgement of the murder of George Floyd. And we know what has happened with the climate. Like, there have been so many contradictions exposed, you know what I'm saying? Not just, the usual suspects, I'm talking about the ruling class, but the different dynamics about the class piece, who fights for us, who speaks for us. There have been leaps and bounds, and you know what I'm saying, in regards to the community about struggle, you know what I'm saying, who speaks for us, so on and so forth. I can't remember what else I got on the flyer today. What else we have? Can we get it? Oh, definitely. I would be remiss. The Kwame Brown phenomenon. What's happening? Yes, indeed. This is a phenomenal discussion. With we're gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? Sports really ain't never been my trigger, but everything is political, and this is a graphic example of what I'm saying, the sweat spilling off the basketball court, the blood leaving, coming off transcending the football field. This is because the deal is everything is political, but sports in particular has been an arena in which the ruling class has been able to put forward as some sort of detached dynamic from everything else. In other words, it's people say, well, I'm just talking about football, so on and so forth, and it's a tactic. Even with Rome would have how they would utilize the entertainers. They would have a special not a gallery or entrance way for entertainers to come in. How they kept them detached from the people. But the gladiators is a different dynamic. I recall we had an issue with the Hip Hop Summit some years back, and it got real. It became antagonistic, or where it resulted with, I think Ben Shavers was with the Nation of Islam then, and the Hip Hop Summit, and Russell Simmons and Ben Shavers was and Russell Simmons, they came in, and it got to the point where Ben Shavers said, well, Puffy Combs said he's not going to come because the way that you all are acting and so on and so forth. Because our position was, ain't going to be no vote or die, because the deal is, no people should take this reactionary absolute, like, it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to vote. You know what I'm saying? It should, that gives a cockiness to the Republican Party, Democratic Party, what have you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we will, maybe we won't. You know what I'm saying? In fact, we have went so far as to flip the script to say, what is their position? What is the politician's position in regard? You know what I'm saying? What is their position on reparations? What is their position about political prisoners? What is their position on the African anti-terrorism bill? In fact, former U.S. President Barack Obama was running for Senate at that time, and we had literally, we was on the stage, and I recall, I vividly remember this. We had gave him the African anti-terrorism bill poster, and to him, and a lot of people were very critical. Y'all shouldn't do this. This is going to be the first black senator. We said, we don't care if it's going to be the first black Martian. What is his position about what's going on in our community? And I recall I was going backstage, and I remember people saying, well, Ludacris has this. He already has this. He has another program, and I remember him. They're saying he has a Ludacris Foundation. One of the forces with us said that's exactly what it is, a Ludacris Foundation. I remember that. I remember. This kind of goes to the Kwame Brown discussion. I remember Crooked Eye, literally coming without any community. This flies in the face of people say, well, people don't understand. You need to explain. As soon as he's seen the Crooked Eye, as soon as he's seen the poster, the African anti-terrorism bill poster, which had Durrell Hamilton picture. We had Durrell Hamilton's photograph from the morgue. We went up in the morgue and we had his picture. He was shot 15 or 17 times, December the 2nd, 2002. Chicago police on 71st, 72nd. And ironically, the street is known as Emmett Till Road. Yeah, that's where we shot at. And we had his picture from the morgue. We had the pictures of a 8-year-old child in Cabrini Green. The police was searching. We had all these pictures, and and a lot of artists were saying they're gonna get back to it. As soon as Cricket Eye seen this poster, he said, "I'm with this." He's grabbed up. He say, "Man, I'm in LA, y'all, but we can relate to this." You know what I'm saying? And I recall that. I remember saying that. I said, "My man, hey, wherever you at in this city here, my man, wherever we at, you can go, man. You can go to bed on the corner, 47 Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Right through jewelry and everything. We brother, it's all love, and there's a connection. He felt the people's pain, and this was again, this is the position that we had, called on, and I remember back to the point I was saying, my Ben Shavis said something about Puffy's not going to come. And we said, okay, well, meanwhile, back at the ranch, you know what I'm saying? But he said something to the fact that they had the script was written prior to them. They were saying, they were laying who's going to speak for us. I remember saying that Ludacris is going to come and speak about this. We said, no, we can speak for ourselves. We don't go up in the studio booth for them and tell them, man, blah, 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 this is how this goes. But this is a historical tactic that the ruling class is employed, you know what I'm saying, put out, a certain people as our spokesperson. I recall an interview asked Malcolm X, well, Jackie Robinson disagrees with you about violence. And that's supposed to shut it down right then. Malcolm X responds, well, wait a minute. We don't quote no Bob Hope or no Marilyn Monroe for your people. You know what I'm saying? Don't be quoting me no Jackie, you know what I'm saying? And, Paul Robeson that came, I think, to the Senate committee hearings, the McCarthy hearings, when Senator McCarthy had these, they accusing everybody of being communists, and I think Paul Robeson's son was actually, he wanted, get a baseball or some sign from Jackie Robinson, Robeson was like, I'll explain it to you later, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was when Jackie Robinson, I think, had even actually testified, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Against, you know what I'm saying? These hearings were a blanket approach saying, everybody destroyed careers, you know what I'm saying? Even, in particular, you can look at degrees of how white people's careers and lives were destroyed. And so you can imagine what was going on, you know what I'm saying? And Paul Robeson in particular, you know what I'm saying, was great, a phenomenal, talented brother, you know what I'm saying? And what he went through, you know what I'm saying, with these McCarthy hearings, they refer to as the Red Scare, you know what I'm saying? Because historically, there have been different euphemisms with the attack on the black community, whether it be, terms like slavery, Jim Crow, or Red Scare, war on gangs, war on terror, you know what I'm saying? And these are political footballs that are used where, because America is extremely Machiavellian with dealing with, in particular, the race question, you know what I'm saying? It allows it to go other places, and be cocky to say, wait a minute, do you have political prisons in Cuba? You know what I'm saying? And, wait a minute, you got Mumia Abu Jamal, the Sunday out of Colas, and Rest Hell Captain. With that being said, y'all, just stay locked and loaded. Brother, you can't tell us who you are, what's happening, the background, who we got here in the studio with us.
Yes. First and foremost, I must say it's an honor and a blessing to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, Chairman. My name is Eric Smith. I'm a black young man from the west side of Chicago. Grew up in the Henry Horner Projects and later the New Haven houses over there. I just finished up my bachelor's degree in sociology from Williams College out of Massachusetts, and came back. I'm trying to be a staple in my community, trying to help out in any way possible, because one thing that I learned away from being away from my home so long is that we always preach to our ones, the kids that make it out to school and do well and succeed, is don't come back. You want to do as much as you can to get out the hood. But I believe that that's wrong. I believe that, we should all be preaching and telling our kids to come back and use your talents to help out your own community. So that's why I'm here today. I got a little preposition that I would like the chairman to join me on, which will adequately address the legacy of the Black Panther Party on Chicago's west side, which is the area that I grew up in. The project that I'm proposing here today is threefold. The first piece is a journey.
Listeners on the radio, can y'all hear the brother? Can everybody hear him all right?
I was just about to say, Chairman, if you could have him get a little closer to the mic.
I'm gonna put you with the phone right here while you speak. Okay.
Yeah. So the first tier of the project is to write a journalism piece that will take a critical eye to the events following the assassination of Chairman Fred Hampton and the end of political activities of the Panther Party on the West Side till now. And what the article will be exploring is what happened, what created this state of, people like me being able to grow up in this community, live, eat there, sleep there, and not know about, the people who came before me, my predecessors that paved the way. I'm a free breakfast program baby myself. We used to call it Chokes. And we had a song about it and everything. And I just found out about maybe 3 or 4 months ago that, obviously the Black Panther Party led that, and there would be no free breakfast in schools or anything like that without the legacy of the Panther Party. So I just believe that, this legacy is one to behold and one to cherish and one to be proud of. So I want to do everything I can to get that going. So the second tier of that project would then be to get some type of plaque, some type of sign recognizing the addresses of 2350 West Madison Street and 2337 West Monroe. For those who don't know, that's 2350 is where the Black Panther Party's headquarters was located, and 2337 West Monroe was the infamous location where Chairman Fred Hampton was assassinated by Chicago PD and the FBI. I believe that it's very, 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 very important to get some type of recognition in those areas. So, we walking on really sacred ground over there. And I was born and raised in this community, and I'm just now finding this out. And it's I got to do everything I can to prevent the next generation from having to go through that. And then lastly here, I would like to. I was inspired by the sister city, Oakland. Mm-hmm. Just got back from a trip out there. I thought, I can't really take on no project involving the Black Panther Party without going to the location where it was started, which was in Oakland. And while I was out there, I stopped at all the famous locations out there. The location where Huey P. Newton was his house, the original Panthers location out there, headquarters. The location where the infamous shootout Huey P. Newton had with the police department out there. And all these locations, just held this overbearing I don't know feeling over me, and I'm just man, this is crazy, and the way that they had it set up out there was, I don't know, I felt and we should model that their situation out there here in Chicago, especially on the West Side. I'm sure you're familiar with this, Chairman, but the bakery out there that they have right in Oakland, and where they have the tour situation set up where you go in, you see the newspaper, and then you can meet with, I think at one point in time, correct me if I'm wrong, David Hillier was leading the tours over there, right?
Yeah, years back, years back.
So I was thinking, why wouldn't we take that model and bring it here to Chicago? Why wouldn't we show people 2337 West Monroe, 2350 West Madison, the church where the People's Inquest was took place, all these locations where the Panthers did most of their work for the community, where they heightened the contradictions, where they brought people together. So that's why I'm starting now. I think with that tour company in Chicago, I think it would be a very good thing if we provided employment opportunities for the youth over there. It wouldn't be a better opportunity for Black kids to learn about their legacy, to learn about where they come from, while also putting some money in their pocket so they're not out here, with nothing to do in the summertime. And then, in addition to that, I would like all the other proceeds to go to the Black Panther Party Cubs to keep the fight going.
Right on. How old are you, brother?
I'm 24 years old.
Okay, right on. Right on. That's I commend you. Right on. And, I just want to say this to you. You some good valid points you made. You know what I'm saying? You say it was something you said. Let me go check in Oakland also, because that's the birthplace of the Black Panther Party. That been so. I've asked people, play around with this name. That's do with it's natural to say, okay, go check into that. And those sites, so that still remains to be the sister city as we speak to this day. And we are fortunate time, even to connect with the Dr. Huey P. Newton Foundation. It's headed by Frederica Newton, and as a matter of fact, we're doing a big mandatory trek and check-in this October. It's gonna be a phenomenal move. But we go there every year for the anniversary of Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? We had the 50th anniversary there, and there was some class contradictions, and you know what I'm saying? There was a gala. That so it ain't all the legacy is under attack. And I'm saying this to say because the ideas you're talking about the tour, we were talking about that too, but it's something with this class contradiction that I'm saying. And I got battle fatigue because there's been so many people come with great ideas, but somehow as soon as you said that, my mind went to, okay, somebody taking the car. Let's go. What about we incorporate this? I'll drive by my homie spot. Even in Mirror with Chairman Fred, you'd be surprised what people start saying. What if we put this other person up there? It's such and this is what like the Panther Party was a organization that came from the Valley, and so the time has to be right. So I'm inspired. So right now that we talking about doing they'll come Father's Day trip, the graveyard of Chairman Fred. Go, you want to say something? Yeah.
Oh yeah, well just in line with what you're saying, Chairman. That's why I'm here today.
Yeah.
I couldn't even like take one action about this project without getting your approval and having your support with this. So that's why I'm here today.
Okay, right on. And I'm wounded. I got, what I'm saying. Like I said. So, we didn't have so many, we've been so infiltrated. You know what I'm saying. And I don't want to become to the point that we block new ideas. I'm just laying that out to you. It's COINTELPRO to Now Intel Our programs are even the State Hampton House. It seems so easy. And I was having a conversation the other day, and they were talking about the different fraternities, which I'm really not familiar with the different dynamics. The deltas, the different dynamics of them. And I caught myself, and I was like, wow. And it was common. One sister said something to the fact like, yeah, but of course that all organizations have issues. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, especially this climate now, being around so many people, a climate with a counterinsurgency, the COINTELPRO is not acknowledged. I even have to, I figure, I said, whoa, I'll drift off and forget. I said, the uniqueness of the party line. That, everyone has, jealousies. Everyone has egos, but the COINTELPRO over 90% was directed to the Black Panther Party. This is an organization that stood up and said, we are clear that everything is political. You know what I'm saying? And that brought the ire, and it's ingrained in us to be second nature. And it's a certain, and it's it was a climate where it was common conversation. You were reminded, it was reinforced from comrades and from the state. You know what I'm saying? And now it's a climate where people, people can forget the uniqueness about that. Because it seems so easy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm well aware of that, Chairman. I'm an avid listener here on the show, and one of your big sayings on here, if you can't stop it, co-op it, right? That's the attitude. So
yes,
I'm very well aware of the attempts that's out there and the threats that's out there, and I, what I'm saying, that still hasn't stopped me from trying to come here today.
Okay.
In addition to that, like another thing, like you said, it's just a sign of, how strong the party is, how strong what you represented. You're constantly trying to be infiltrated by the state. You're constantly trying to have these outside sources come in and affect what you got going on.
Yes. That's
a sign of strength. That's a sign that you're doing something right. So I'm right there with you, Chairman. And if, we could continue discussions on this in any way that we need to.
Well, I'm gonna give you a march to get right up, because I got some people online. Cause we talking about doing this already. I mean, a lot of ideas I got, the resources and the forces don't be, what I'm saying? Because people, what I'm saying, I got a lot of people say, Chan, why you deal with this person? Why you do? I had to deal, in my line of work, I had to deal with the mentally scarred, broken heart, and bad body parts. What I'm saying? This is we don't have other organizations have a luxury. They can go to the auto show and get, give me that off the showroom floor, that car never been drove. I have to go to you pull it. I got to grab the transmissions and all. And most people that we deal with a lot of times come through inspiration, aspiration, or desperation. You know what I'm saying? We the last call for alcohol. You know what I'm saying? We the ones people can relate to when it exhausted all means. Also, I forgot, we got Our Black Truth. We might get a call calling in about that too. This black social media outlet did the official launch 2 days ago at Malcolm X College. This is my first time like really up inside the new Malcolm X College. Man, what I seen was, man, up there.
I used to go to daycare up in there as well.
The new Malcolm X College?
No, I used to go to daycare in the old one.
Oh, well, so you got to say, damn, you got to scare me. That young guy, you feel like an old man.
No, sir. No,
okay.
Sir.
The old Malcolm X College, I had, getting banned from there, right? Malcolm X's grandson, Malcolm Shabazz, was in town prior to him being assassinated. And I recall we was inside the school, and the car was on the floor. Yeah. And I said, man, get in that car, And so the security was like, no, you can't get in. I said, man, I jumped in the car. I said, man, this is the type of case you want to catch. I said, let me catch Chairman Fred car here, man. I said, man, I'm going to the gas station, get the engine tuned up. I said, man, get in that car, man. It was a big old thing. They called them security, it was a big old thing. And so now they got the car up on top of like a roof or something. I said, so I came out car. I said, oh, that's for me. They got it up. You can't get it. You can't get it. But the pictures of Malcolm, man, it was my first. I was in there not too long ago in an event. WDB printing. They had an event, but to see them pictures, man, it's phenomenal. It really gave me a shock. We gotta get this Hampton House Museum moving, man. We got to get it rolling, man. We got to get it rolling. Yeah, but I'm inspired. So we're gonna. The tour, like I said, I got. If you go back and look at shows, and this is no slight, how many people that came through here? Oh man, I got these ideas. I'm gonna do blah blah blah, and it'd be like one hit wonders. Right. So I don't want to discourage you, but understand me. I say I go through this a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's wear and tear, and I don't get demoralized with the people because I know what I'm saying because. I had to question myself, man, what's wrong with you? Because I'm stuck on this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I think on Chairman Fred's tombstone said, if my people would have been free, I don't know what I was spending my life doing. If they came to mind and said, listen, okay, we cool, we backing up, no more shooting y'all down, no more, degrading y'all in schools, no more, exploitation. I'm too far gone. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So, this is how they say in church. This is my caller. We live and direct on Freedom Radio. We gonna open up for some callers. Let us know get any callers in queue. But yeah, bro, I'm gonna bring you on this meeting. We talking to some people now about. I want you to give me a write up, a layup about this whole thing about the tour. You know what I'm saying? Want to do? You know what I'm saying? How many force you get? I like to go. I don't like a whole bunch of. I see people like they do a whole bunch of talking. I like stick and move. I
practice dialectical materialism.
So you're right. That's what I'm saying. I'll be say it can drain on you. Ain't no guarantee tomorrows, man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And this stuff really is simple, but it's complex. And this is a time when people are seeing they go straight to it. It's a time where cats are calling out questions from their own. This guy Kwame Brown said he ain't know nothing about YouTube. You know what I'm saying? He done up the ante. You know what I'm saying? And as he said, also the people, so all the technology, the machine, the people, you know what I'm saying? It's a climate, you got to stick and move. Like I tell people, like, with the museum, with the Hampton House, man, run it. A lot of people want to go through this whole bureaucratic race. It drains you, it takes your spirit, you know what I'm saying? They call me in the studio, I go in the studio, they call me One Take Jake. They say, oh, here he come, One Take Jake. He go in there, bam. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Man, stick and move, man. Real talk. We live and direct on Freedom Radio, intellectual radio, making history, taking history, taping history. We talking about Our Black Truth. Freedom all.
Come on, Brother Chairman. We have Brother Hess on the line. Freedom on.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Freedom on.
Freedom all. Welcome, Brother Hess.
Hey, Black Mall, what's going on, my family?
Peace and blessings, Freedom all. You know what? I was supposed to get back to you about actually putting on the flyer. The intense situation was going on. And you know what I'm saying, what's happening, you know what I'm saying, I want to make it official, so let's seize the time, definitely, bring us to the speed, you know what I'm saying, what's happening behind them walls, man, so it's code red, we say code green, code black, code red, it's intense, so bring us up to speed, what's happening, and how we can be in support of, you know what I'm saying, back in the play, and support of those who are held captive. You know what I'm saying? I know someplace in Michigan, something's coming out now about the women in prison in particular, what's happening with them. But bring us up to speed. What's happening behind the walls?
want to first of all, just thank y'all for having us in here, man. Down here in Georgia, man, we in what they call the Black Belt down in South Georgia, and we are in what they call a level 5 penitentiary with Social Security. Where the majority of people have life sentences or at least 20 years or better. And what we're dealing with down here is what I think is a systematic issue all across the nation, where there is no funding for no officers, there's no funding for medical treatment, there's no funding, there's no money there for, psychiatry, psychology, the social issues that's going on within these prison walls. They classify us with antisocial behavior disorder when you go through diagnosis and you are sentenced and now have to do prison time. But with that diagnosis comes funding, for them to be able to treat these psychological issues that they say we have, these sociological issues. But what's going on is that funding is being stripped away from the convicts and being, used for the whatever it is at the higher ups, as far as the Department of Corrections Commissioner and Assistant Commissioner and the regional directors, and by the time we get down to the warden, he pretty much ain't got nothing. And so, what we've been having going on here in Smith State Prison is, they make it look like it's self-annihilation. They make it look like it's black on black crime, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what's going on is that we've been having the same issues here as far as brothers get into issues, you got Bloods, Crips, GDs, you understand me? You got Muslim brothers, you got the Mexicans and the whites, Ghostface gangsters. And yeah, we have conflicts from time to time, but see, they trying to say that these young brothers are murdering each other, and they lying on them. For the last month and a half, man, we done had Brother Nino pass away here. We done had Brother Mandu pass away. Our Brother Nick B from Athens, our Brother Gun Smoke, a.k.a. King from Macon. And also we had our brother from Moon from South Atlanta, Knowledge from Albany, Chris hung himself. These brothers have died, and nobody's speaking about it. It's not being posted. It's not being, no type of recourse whatsoever. And, I hate to be so blatantly honest, but, man, they killing us, bro.
Yeah.
They killing us.
Can't make no
Know what
claim.
they doing. And I say that they know what they doing, and I'm not placing no false allegations, because, we've been doing radio from behind these walls, you understand me, for 10 years or better, you dig? And it's like, ain't nothing like this ever came out of my mouth, because I've been behind these walls for the last 24 out of 25 years since I was 16. I'm in my 40s now, man, and I ain't never seen this, what's going on right now. I've been put in the hole, for speaking out to the administration, and confronting them, face to face with at least 20 of their staff members, let them know that y'all giving these people rank as far as a lieutenant or a captain or unit manager, and these folks ain't steady nothing. They are tasing us, they are pepper spraying us at the same time, beating us and dragging us, and don't even have camera, which is mandatory according to the Georgia Department of Corrections, standard operating procedure, which they call the SOP. It's a criteria that they must meet, and they are not meeting that on the strength that they are hoping that we'll die. Now, let me tell you the plot that's going on here. They are allowing bath salts to be fed to brothers while they are on lockdown units. Normally, these brothers have major drug issues. Now, peep game now. Peep game now.
Yes, sir.
You lock these brothers down in the cell. You take away the 2 officers that's supposed to sit on each floor. You take away the officer that's even in the booth. So where if the brothers mash the button in their cell, the emergency button, there's nobody in the booth to answer it. But what are you saying, Brother Ed? I'm saying that when these brothers go crazy, feeling suicidal, when they go crazy, feeling homicidal, and go to beating on their roommate, there's nobody there to answer their cry. So for that reason, you have what is called an issue of neglect. The conditions of confinement have totally been wiped away. These brothers are asking for removal from one cell to another to save their life. They're being left there. The brother like Nut B, brother Hill from Athens, he was brutally raped and murdered, a few weeks ago in his cell and strangled because he asked the captain, hold on, I want to make sure I get his name right, because I don't want to put nothing out there that ain't real. I want to make sure I keep it all the way 100. Mr. like a Hallmeyer, time, 9 o'clock, sir. Can you please get me out of this cell? This brother is wigging on these drugs, and I need help, and I'm scared for my life.
I hope y'all hearing what's happening here. This is not pre-recorded from 15, 20 years ago, from the 60s. This is not a dispatch from across seas. This is right now today in Georgia. We talking about live and direct. You know what I'm saying? Your brother in the cell, raped, murdered, hung.
That's on my mama, man. Hey, listen, man. This shit's so fucked up, man. You know, the convicts inside the door was screaming out the windows, you know, beating on the doors, you know, trying to get somebody over there to that cell. And it's happened, you know what I'm saying, in the H1 unit at Smith State Prison. And it was so crazy that a brother had, you know what I'm saying, a phone call going to his wife across the range. And think the dude inside the cell had this little blood brother tied up and was sticking him while raping him at the same time. And so the brother told his wife, baby, stop, call the police. There's no officers nowhere, and this man is brutally killing this young black brother. You understand me? Because he's wigging. And the lady called the police 12 times. You hear me? Now, this after this same young brother, just like 12 to 14 hours ago, asked the captain and a officer at count time to move him. The officers never came back no more, man. We're talking about 12 hours later, this man is finally found because they had to come down there because they got pissed off that an inmate used the cellular device to call out and give this, you know, report that there's a man being brutally raped, stabbed, and strangled inside of a cell in the hole. Now, you know, long story short, man, the same thing happened to Brother Nino a week earlier. His roommate, a white guy, ended up being stabbed him a couple of times, but they were friends, so they didn't worry about it. But because the cell didn't come around to count that night, the Mexican Brother Nino stayed in that cell, bleeding out hours until he died. And these inmates was, again, banging on cells, trying to set fire, trying to do anything to get somebody's help, but nobody on that side, which was H1, nobody had no cell phone. And so that brother died in his own blood. You understand me? And it's not because of the brother that stuck him. That's a lie. It's because the staff was understaffed and they didn't care. And I want to bring one more subject matter up, and that's Brother Mandu, our other blood brother that kept crying out for 3 days asking for psychiatry. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a mental health certified facility. You know, he asked for mental health directors or anybody, a social work counselor, somebody come talk to me. I need to talk to somebody. I'm feeling something inside of me, and I can't make it no more. Man, the folks refused to even speak with him. The staff members refused to even report his mental issues, and he was in that cell by himself. You know, guys thought he was playing, and, you know, they say the man stayed in there hanging for over 7 hours before they found him. These people were supposed to come around every 15 minutes to these cells for 30 minutes and sign a chart beside the door. They have removed the charts. There are no mandatory signs. There are no mandatory count times. And so this man stayed hanging for several hours, dead and cold. You understand me? And then, you know, these people are playing that when they taking these brothers bodies out these cells, they trying to block the bodies. The actual bodies are still alive. You understand me? So they won't report it. And everybody's here to do anything. You hear? I tell you, they are scared. These people are accountable. They scared to file anything from a grievance to a report. Man, they're afraid of everything. And so I just wanted to come on Freedom All Radio. Me and my comrade right here. He's live and tuned, and he's direct knowledge of what's going on behind those doors of the hole here. And we coming here, man, because I'm getting ready to file a restraining order and request that a judge give these people double salary or whatever they need so we can have nurses there. There's no nurse or medical staff here, period, from 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning. There's no mental health counselors or psychiatrists coming around to the whole, period, none whatsoever. Like this, there's no presence there, none whatsoever. You're talking about an environment where it requires that. And so, you know, man, I want to open up the field for brother want to come in and speak. Some blessings, brother.
Peace and blessings, Fremont. I need y'all to make sure y'all get y'all pens, y'all keyboards ready. I need y'all to put out the hashtag, what's going on in these prisons in Georgia. We're going to get some directives out who we're going to be writing and correspond. We say one prisoner, one contact. We need to support. Because again, man, I've seen what happened behind those walls. Again, this is not no made up stuff. This brother's a genius. I don't know if I even said this to you before, Hez. This is man, Freedom on Radio. My thoughts about even doing a program. I coming on the show with you years back. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, we put out a call. We need y'all to have them pens ready. And again, what's going, man? Minister UEP said they fast. We said the state loves to perform their treachery in the dark. We must turn the lights on. We must turn the lights on. So all, man, hashtag inbox these celebrities, these politicians. You know what I'm saying? Georgia, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? All this talking about the party in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? What y'all saying about what's happening right down the street in these concentration camps in Georgia? We open, brother. Come on, bring another brother on.
Name of it is state prison.
This state prison here in this Smith right here. This Smith prison right here.
Lines is yours.
Hello?
You can proceed, sir.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm one of the brothers. I be back there with the brothers that's locked down behind the door. And a lot of the brothers, they just not, it's more of a shortage on staff, so really we have to do most of the stuff. There's a lot of brothers that, like, they got mental ability, I guess, mental, like, disability, I guess, from the trauma of the prison system and stuff like that, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on around here. But it's not just that. A lot of the mental health facilities in Georgia was closed down. And instead of sending them somewhere where they can get help, they started sending them to county jail and started sending them to prison system. And now we're dealing with a lot of people with mental disabilities. They coming in the system and started getting us on the help, and there's nobody to help. So now, if they do something and act up, because they got a disability, police tase them, they beat them, handcuff them, slam them against walls, throw them in rooms. Like, they not even taking into accountability that these people have a mental disability. And a lot of them go to these holes and they lock down the room, they kicking and beating the doors, they telling people how much help they need. So like yesterday, there was a lot of people beating on the door, so I have to go actually find the warden or find the unit manager and somebody to help. And it take these people an hour and 45 minutes even get here when they in the dorm right next door. Like they really not really caring nothing for the people here. They don't care about the people at all. So it takes for us that's here. We put up some things together here where we can try to help the people, where we can go back here, clean up their environment. The environment is filthy, there's water everywhere, it's rain, it's roaches, pipes don't work. People with pools not being clean, the showers are not clean. I mean, you got people that they may shower you in 7 days in a week. They may shower you too. And you got people that not getting on the phone. They can't talk to their family and tell their family condition that they in. Like it's dealing with this situation and this prison right here. And it's happening from talking to other brothers and others. Seem like they have the same exact thing going on. But this one is more of a dangerous prison. And it's actually the most dangerous prison we have in this state. And medical shut down at 4 o'clock. So if somebody gets stabbed, they get hurt, or anything like that, it's nothing that you can do because the medical staff is not here. And it's not even an officer here to even do anything about that situation. So only thing left is us. We have to find a way to get people out the door, find a way to get somebody to come down here, even if we gotta whatever, even if we gotta call the people who outside the prison and have the actual street police come to the prison
and tell them, hey, it's somebody dead in your building. And many times that's how they find people that's been hurt or people that don't die, because people they know called the outside police, and they come to the prison and they tell them, y'all need to go down there and see what's going on. Because these people, they can be walking right in front of your door, and you be like, hey man, they need some help, and they walk past you like you ain't saying nothing.
Smith Prison, we in Georgia.
We at
2021,
this prison,
May.
the state prison.
We need to pull down which representatives down there. This is happening as we speak. As we speak, I know, and all this. I'm sure we had the usual suspects, the usual rhetoric. You know, we just got to stop the violence. We got to work together. We talking about tangible contradictions like the mental health issues, and they know this. One of the first mandates that Mayor Rahm Emanuel did when he came to Mayor Chicago, he shut down the mental health facilities in Chicago, in the black community. They placed me in a cell in Menard with an individual who had mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? Man, set them up to take me down. You know what I'm saying? It was the man. They got me that man cuffed up. He had a little bit of sanity. He said, hold on, ain't you Newton or Hampton or Black Panther? I said, yeah, I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. He said, man, he tried to kill himself and he put him in the cell with me. They want him to, because nothing is worse. You can't beat a jailhouse murder. You go to court, people are locked up right now for life because all the judge want to hear is the other person dead, you there, you alive, you got the case. That's it. This is done by design. Prison is a microcosm of the outside community. Minister U.E.P. Newton said, this is what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So, man, they get us sidetracked on these trips. This is in Georgia. This is not across seas. I'm not talking about Afghanistan. I'm not talking about Nazi Germany. I'm talking about right now in Georgia as we speak. This should be up on the stage and we do whatever freakniks, whatever parties, whatever conversations going on, whatever hip hop, whatever shows, whatever discussion. Put this on your post. What's happening in Smith Prison in Georgia? Tag somebody with it. Let them know. Pull down whatever representatives, congressional, Alderman, whatever in that area. You know what I'm saying? This is happening. This is what's happening in these concentration camps.
They might not get that help because we talked about this guy on an episode before in Rikers Island who for 7 days trying to get help. He was schizophrenic. He didn't have his meds. He was diabetic, and they didn't come in there. They I forgot what happened. I don't know if they hit him. Something happened, and he didn't get his meds. They didn't give it to him. They neglected him, and he started using the bathroom on himself. And you can see that the COs on camera, they passed his cell. They would look in there, but they never did anything. And then on one occasion, somebody tried to go in there and give him some food, and they put the shirt over their face from the smell because he had used the bathroom and nobody went in there to clean him up or clean it up or anything, and still nobody did anything. And then by the time somebody went in there, it was too late. They took him to the hospital where he lay. So even if there's people there, staff there, they still might get neglected.
No doubt about it. The case of let's be clear. The purpose of prison is not to rehabilitate. The purpose of the prison is to break the will and spirit of men, women, and children. The Khalif Browder story, I think that you're talking about, is showing how it impacted him, his mother's, her death, all that. We at a time right now where people are seeing what they doing on the streets, what the police do on the streets. The case in Louisiana, you got the footage. What's the brother name? Robert Reed, the brother in Louisiana with the foot. I mean, they beat him to death. He also man. The purpose of this is to take. Excuse me. Ronald Green. This is Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is what's happening here. This is out in the outside community. So you know, behind closed doors, it's concentrated, it's intense, it's on steroids. A lady said, "You think you go visit your loved ones? You want to believe they being treated you? Man, they doing this stuff." And Abu Ghraib, Baghdad, when the pictures came out of the prisoners who was, the dogs and the put on their private parts and the degrading searches and they asked one prisoner later on why. And after he's released, why didn't you speak on this? He said, nobody would listen to me. I told another prisoner, said, it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I can't put in words. And I was don't want to believe this was happening here. This was what's going down. You know what I'm saying? Again, be on the right side of history. One prisoner, one contact. Everyone should be, you know what I'm saying? Go online, find you, go do a psychological profile. Go online, find a prisoner, Smith prison. You know, well, I don't know nobody in fact, man, find it. Correspond with them. You know what I'm saying? They studied who getting those letters. One prisoner, one contact. And I'm not talking about no abstract, no love. I ain't no love letter. I'm talking about love letters. I'm talking love for the people. I ain't no. See, I ain't talking no trivial. You thinking Nazi Germany in the gas chambers? People trying to figure out. They showed them bodies and people out there. I mean, with skin and bones. I wonder if this guy like that lady. I'm talking. It's a war being waged on us. Those are concentration camps. Ain't no prisons. Ain't no rehabilitative centers. Hey, why they knocking us? They knocking us off. This should be tied into every comedy, every so-called beef, every discussion. Any other community, you know, so when that call is out, we have to make that connection. Ain't no coincidence that the amount of us is held captive in these concentration camps. Ain't no coincidence the time, the connection to they forcing, they giving out incentive to parents to say put your child on Ritalin and all type of narcotics, turn them to a damn dope fiend. Then, you know what I'm saying? Then pull them up. They got to get some street narcotics to suffice for that. Then you throw them up in a box, in a 6x9, if that. I think what Shakespeare said, when the sane be run insane, they run the risk of becoming insane, and vice versa. All you do is put a certain populace up in there. I be rubbing my sanity doing with these crazy cats. I'm trying to say to this man, this is strategic. This is strategic. You know what I'm saying? You have people these illogical reactionary responses. Just stop the violence. Just you talk to them, and all we need is to know ourselves. You in a cell, a 6x9 man tying you up, sticking you with a shank, raping you at the same time, and these cats don't just know ourselves or get conscious or get some goddamn green juice. Man tied up in the cell, they raping and sticking them. These cats on you just change your name or know yourself is going to deal with it. We doing tangible, real deal contradictions and killings. That's what's happening around here. These cats want to play these abstract games. Was he registered to vote? What gang was he in? Imagine that type of conversation going on in Auschwitz, Dachau, in Germany. This was happening right here, live and direct. Inside these concentration camps. Cats can't afford the luxury, the sidetracking the slave, what this person's religion is, none of that. One prisoner, one contact. Everybody, this Smith, this man, press gonna be on. We live and direct. Let me throw this charge on his phone because this phone trying to down me. The iPhone charger. Yeah. I'm just trying to find the phone charger. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Y'all keep talking. I'm trying to find the phone. Y'all keep talking. My brother's still online with us? Okay, man. Whatever you got to add to it, man. Seize the time. Whatever you got.
Just hold it for a minute.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I wanted to say this too, though. Like, it's like a lot of people also down here that actually hiring people who's mental health. So it's like you got mental health on one side, and you hire mental health on the other side.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, who the same people are? Because I mean, they come to work with this girl.
Yes.
They come to work like ready to hurt you or harm you, and they so mental health they don't even understand what's going on.
Yes.
it's like they, like even the little stuff we got left,
Yes.
it's like they the one who are the ones who like they increasing the violence.
Yes.
Like goddamn, it say 80 motherfuckers to run this camp. See, this the thing, fam. It say 80 motherfuckers to run this goddamn prison that carrying goddamn 1,400 inmates. But see the move, they ain't running this shit with motherfucking goddamn 18 fucking goddamn officers. And most of the time they got the wards goddamn working the shit as a CO fucking 2. And they ain't got them motherfucking 12 off over the whole fucking compound. Real nigga need to got down. I ain't gonna say what a nigga need to do. I'm gonna be quiet because I know everything is be used against me in the court of law. You know, I'm gonna be some left. Y'all go ahead, man.
No, it hurts.
And it's a lot, like a lot of, there's a lot of the staff down here that I came to prison. I was 16. I'm 34.
You came when you were 16. You came. Hold on. You came to you was taken to prison when you were 16 years old, and you 34 years old now.
Yeah, I'm 34 now. Yeah.
The fact that that can be said, I mean, man. The fact that that can even be said. This we do. And while we have this quote unquote conversation, let me just make sure we don't forget the fact that we in the climate of coronavirus also. Against, because people we talk how difficult it is out here now. I can't do this. I can't order my food. I can't see my lady. Can't see my sister. Can't see a guy. You know what I'm saying? Can't contact each other. Have that again. Let me again assert that we talking about the climate of coronavirus inside the concentration camp. Matter of fact, hashtag that Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Imagine being in the climate with coronavirus inside the concentration camp. Hashtag, quote unquote, imagine that. A climate of the coronavirus inside the concentration camp. Face from the Ghetto Boys said, man, it's like living and dying at the same time. Again, up in this cell. Or just walk away. When you see somebody that you disagree with, just leave it. Just walk away from it. This the type of nonsense, the rhetoric that people try to run to who can't even relate. Who can't even relate. You in a cage, tied up. They had they know they putting in who cell. They have profiles. This is done intentionally. Go ahead. I gotta seize the time. The fact that we got some, we fortunate, and we are fortunate, and we are unfortunate to have some cats that's laying this out to us. Again, we are fortunate and unfortunate to have some cats that's laying this out for us. We are fortunate and unfortunate that we have to have this type of conversation. That we even have, that sounds logical to us. 16 years old, Lotto, you were 16, you 34 years old. That even sounds logical. That even sounds logical to us. They don't strike a nerve. Ain't no hands on your arm raised up. I told you, man, I got these dogs, man. I've been having them in the dog kennel, man, for all these years. What? Get some hamsters or gerbils inside of. How long you been? Well, I've been having this one and ain't let him out. You've been in the cage over a decade or 15, 20 years. It don't make no sense. It makes no logical sense. It just don't add up. It don't even strike a nerve with us. It don't even strike a nerve. That's a Field Marshal George Jackson said that capitalism only affects the economy, but affects the psychic. The fact that we ain't jumping on plus, man, you still got your sanity. You wouldn't have been your man. Man, if anybody been in a lockup for a few hours, been in the backseat of a police car, know what this does to you. 16. We had to keep this in context. This goes the conversation talking about Kwame Brown, who told me that he told me the time that they took him inside the NBA, how old he was. You had these conversations with the talk what we were dealing with. with the brain, the different dynamic. You talk about birth. If they say, well, is it the fetus stage? Is it this stage? The brain is developing. You talk the 16 years old. It's guys who I grew up with. We had issues on the streets. We look back and say, oh yeah, man, you was such, he was such and such at that time. You take that into account. What? 16 years old, you 34 years old. And it seems it impact us on. It sounds logical. Get them pins. Get them man hashtag. Get that man.
Out of that.
Excuse me. Go ahead, bro.
Right, all the brothers they've been doing like a long time down here in Georgia. The prison colony of the USA. This is it. They do it every time. This is what they do. They get you when they're young, keep it till you cannot have kids.
Real talk. You know, man, everything. I hope y'all heard that. Get you in your young, hold you when you can't even reproduce. I was talking to a brother about this Kwame Brown situation, and so much stuff is coming about the NBA. When my comrade did a film, we was rapping about some guys in the NBA. They say it's so detailed that DNA. They say it's the NBA players. They have it's set up with it. They have like this a certain. They're like the 1%. Assert the players. Their DNA is like a elite DNA. The NBA players, the structure. You think about Penn State. They got that coach that was raping the football, the children. The bone. He was studying the bone structure.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And we look, it's in the deal, it's certain, like we just think of all the LA players, they just only go for white women. We think it's reactionary. They have stuff laid out to them, who they can date, that the DNA can be passed down to. They study, if you got some backbone in you, we ain't having it there. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain, give us some more, it's a thing, the brain and the brawn. Give us those that can produce, entertain us, the physical features, called the brain and the brawn. Bring us that. You know what I'm saying? Reproduce. It's called culling inside the zoos. They call it culling. When they have aggression levels, this for gorillas, they say that gorilla cannot mate with that gorilla. That gorilla has to produce with that gorilla. Bring one in from Alaska, the Mexican wolves. They said we want the look of a certain Mexican wolf. They said, well, that mother is too aggressive. That father has too much backbone. They said, okay, take her sweat, take her, let the puppies, the scent, and exchange her to another palatable Mexican wolf. In our communities, we want the look. It's like on a farm. They come with the bulls and the steers. The steers in the restaurant? They hold the steers. The steers, you can't even bring a mouse around the steer. It shakes. He's been castrated.
Right.
He's been castrated. The bulls, the different types of dynamics of the Cadillac, different types of the bulls, and it's not that far fetched. Anyway, the details of the animals. This is our community. They grab all these brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Their reproductive years. See, the breaking process. 16 and 34 years old. We live and direct, y'all.
On behalf of life.
Man.
Yeah. They like even our system down here in Georgia. It ain't just the people. It ain't just it's the food. It's everything they give you. Everything they got. Even if they serve it is unhealthy.
Yes.
Side of the store is unhealthy. It's nothing healthy here whatsoever. Either you're gonna get diabetes, you're gonna get high blood pressure, or you're gonna get one of them two.
Yes. In Stateville,
even the food that they serve you is not fit for human. Even the meat or whatever they want to call it, it states on the box not fit for humans to consume.
yes, says on the box. Says on the box.
And
Says on the box.
Yeah.
Not fit for human consumption.
then you got it. Yeah, definitely.
Then you have these,
Then the stuff you buy off the store is junk. It's junk. It's
and it's intentional junk. It's intentional junk. It's not this system. Well, my fault. Go ahead, bro. I can't. Go ahead. I'm gonna cut you off. Go ahead.
like it's everything thing they got is something that it destroys you in one form or the other. They try to destroy you mentally or they try to destroy you physically. Like this plantation we on right now, they trying to break you both ways. Like, and I mean, I've been here for a while, so I've actually been in prison long enough to been on the street now. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things I don't do. I don't drink, don't do I smoke. I don't do none of that extra type activity stuff because I don't understand what they're trying to do to me. And
I couldn't be mad at you. I couldn't be mad at you if you drank or smoke. Man, you going through, man. Man, this man. I mean, I ain't encouraging. I'm just saying, any man, Stateville, aka Deathville. The EPA said this place is supposed to be shut down. The water is bone sarcosis. That's why I didn't know what the word meant. Bone sarcosis. There's no water that we was drinking, and the guards would come, and you had that clap. Wow, it's documented. You know, what the water does. You can't buy no water. We drinking. The guards looking at us, laughing as we drinking this water. I'm using the term water loosely. We drink. You know what I'm saying, man. Go ahead.
We got that happening, be happening down here where all the water back up, all the water come in your dorm, out the toilet, out the shower, they cover the dorm, there's so much water be on the floor, be over your shoes. They back up in your sink where the drinking water in. They have the same problem now. We got all those same issues right here in this one place. This place, it should have been shut down years ago.
You don't lie.
When it rains, these rooms fill up full of water. The windows and stuff, water come in all on the floor. I'm talking about this is what you call a condemned building.
We need so much response. We need so much. We need such a response on this social media. We need so much response in the community from that's close to Smith Prison down in Georgia that at minimum this ruling class send in their usual suspects to try to hijack this campaign. In other words, we want to create such a groundswell that they send their usual suspects in and try to ward it down. You know what I'm saying? Hijack it. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, we had to create such a problem on the cotton fields and the tobacco fields and the plantation that Massa grabbed some of his personal house slaves to go out there, you know what I'm saying, whatever, to calm this down, take over what they doing, you know what I'm saying, so that, you know what I'm saying, up there, there could be no peace on the plantation. This conversation has to happen on the social media, on the TikTok, on the Facebook, you know what I'm saying, it has to happen. We seen what the people can do. We seen what out-resourced Kwame Brown, the stuff with these busted, calling contradictions. What can happen? You know what I'm saying? The masses. You know what I'm saying? He talking about individuals who got more cars and more money. That's, you know what I'm saying? You got more resources, more quote-unquote education, more training. So those dogs that be on the dog show and they run around, they get all the diamonds in their collar and the master trusts them to walk around with them. Their teeth that been filed down and refined. Their bite even is non-threatening. You rather get bit by them as opposed to a mosquito. They're so non-threatening. They're palatable. They put up on different showroom floors. But that growl, that DMX hound, that growl on the ground has to be so intense. You know what I'm saying? And we even our contradictions, even our bad parts, even our fleas and our ticks got to be involved in this here. In other words, our mispronunciation of words. You know what I'm saying? Get up on, you know what I'm saying? You said Kwame Brown coming through the door, calling out. Hey, what time? Are you official? You ever say everything about the good, the bad, and the ugly? Everything. When you fighting, when you getting down, the pots, the pans, the tune, everything. Was that your husband in jail? Were y'all legally married? Every man, your girlfriend, your ex woman, your her brother-in-law you didn't talk to, all of them, everybody. Your son and your nephew, you weren't talking to everybody. The lines have to be redrawn. Who you with? The state of the people. The disciple you got into it with, the device stores you had an issue with, all that. All that. The lines have to be redrawn. Who you with? The state of the people. Free Sister Comrade.
We have another call from the camp, and they kind of like over a few minutes.
Yes, yes. Can we bring him in? Yes. Free them all. And you can't make this up.
I'd like to, pardon me?
No, I'm saying, listeners, viewers, you can't make this up. These are calls from concentration camps back to back all over the country. We live in Derek on Freedom All Radio. Go ahead, welcome to Freedom All Radio. Come on with it.
It's horrible. I want to chime into what
There's another prison, concentration camp calling in.
we got 2 toilets to 180.
It's a different prison.
How is that possible? We got 2 showers that's working. We standing in water too. Like it's horrible to live in conditions. We got holes in the ceiling. We got mold, asbestos. We got a condemned gym that we can't even use because it's mold everywhere. The buildings have mold. It's lead paint everywhere. Like I'm living in inhabitable living conditions, and they expect me to do my time. Fuck that. Free them all. Let me go home. I'm tired of this.
Free them all. This now for those who say what the women going through. You know what I'm saying? We need about the women. This ain't just the women. This ain't just the men. This the people. This is the people.
Chairman, they give us 2 rolls of tissue. 2 rolls of tissue. You have to cause a crisis in order to get more tissue. You have to act a complete asshole to get what you want in this concentration camp. Because this is not a correctional facility. Because they lack in corrections. Because they don't have anything to correct us. They store us. We are in storage. We're living on top of each other. We breathe in the same nasty ass air. We can't do nothing. We stuck in the house. Like, it's horrible. And then when COVID hit, it got even worse. You know how many women died and they tried to cover it up? Because they didn't act on it fast enough. And then you caught corona. You know what they did? They moved you off the housing unit. Now, you sick with corona, you got to pack your shit and move to a whole nother housing unit because you quarantine. And then when you quarantine for 14 days, you got to move back. And you still sick. You know what they give you? Ibuprofen.
If it's that. If it's that.
The hell?
If it's that. Because you get the rejects in prison from the toilet paper to the medication. If it's that. If it's ibuprofen. I doubt if it's even that.
So you said when they move you from, if you contracted COVID, they put you in quarantine and for the 14 days, and then they move you back to the same area you just left. It could still be, other people could be infected and you could get reinfected?
Yes. This was when Corona first happened and they started moving people. So they moved you to another house where other people were contaminated. And don't get me started on the staff that weren't wearing the PPE. Don't nobody wear no mask and nobody wear no gloves when they pass on our food. Then, on top of that, when there was still, we had got our first vaccination. I don't have the date on me, but when we got our first vaccination, they started a massive shakedown to our housing unit. They took everything, shook us down, came to our house with no gloves, no mask, and then took everything from us. And we weren't even properly vaccinated yet. If that's even what we were getting was the vaccine, that's just what they were telling us.
Wow. Did they allow you to decide that on your own, or was it mandatory?
It was not mandatory. I decided to get it because when I got the COVID-19, whatever the fake virus is, when I caught it, it was the worst feeling I've ever had. And I thought the only way I could defend myself from the virus was getting the vaccine. So I took the Moderna shot, the 2 dosages. But in between that 2 dosage, when I got the first one, is when they take down. And then I grieved them when they shut down, and I told them I grieved it, and their response was they did everything according to the DA, the doctor, whatever their rules are. Their bullshit rules that can't even get a copy of to grieve properly because the warden, the previous warden, Glenn Austin, he took the rules and regulations from the law library. And because we're on COVID restrictions, we couldn't even get regular trips to the law library when it was going on. People were missing their deadlines. It was so much shit going on. It was a clusterfuck.
This particular camp, I want people to write there. Let me say this for the record: a non-independent people do not make independent decisions. This is a climate now. We are for this system directly, indirectly. Everything from the vaccinations that we on with that they control the prison is admittedly a controlled environment. So you know what I'm saying, and like you just said, how you felt so bad. You know what I'm saying? They come everything with something. They come with the gangster techniques on the streets right now. With this, you can go, you can't go to this if you ain't got the vaccination, so on and so forth. So imagine, and this system is Machiavellian at creating conditions so intense. We think we call the police officer. We think, you know what I'm saying. America's definition of diplomacy is letting others have their way. America's definition of diplomacy is. Say it again. Say it again.
I say y'all just got more day room time.
No, real talk. Well said. Well said. So I want, you know what I'm saying. So again, this is, man. This is comes with the stick and the carrot, the big stick and the carrot.
Yeah.
What's I need those letters coming in, those one person one contact, you know what I'm saying? I'll be real kind of strategic about, you know, you feel me? But if you good with it, if y'all good with it, you know what I'm saying, the camp name, what have you, you know what I'm saying? People can go in general. And no matter of fact, I'll tell you what can we do to help support? You know what I'm saying? What do y'all suggest? What's your...
You can do, Chairman, you can help support by help getting these laws passed. It's a House bill right now for truth and sentencing reform. It's House Bill 3614.
Write that down, somebody on Instagram.
16.
Repost it. House bill. This is Illinois. We're talking about Illinois now. So we done traveled all across. We all over. Columbia. If you stuck somewhere, keep moving. We all over. We in Illinois. Matter of fact, we still in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? We can walk and chew gum at the same time. Well, what about the men? Well, I'm gonna deal with the women. We are with a politics that deal with everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I just want to deal with this set, the Capricorns, the Scorpios, the people. That's what we dealing with. Illinois House Bill. What is it again?
3614. It's truth and sentencing.
3614. We talked about this before. Need y'all to read. You know what I'm saying? Get on top of this today, tonight. While you eating dinner, put it. Man, they say while you breaking bread, while you watching a movie, right there. You get your respective senator. Run that.
Yeah.
Run that. You want all these cats when they want to become in with the Panther Cubs. Run that. Run them letters in. Huh?
Take them letters. Go to Action Network. Type in your zip code. Write the legislators. It'll be, if you type in your zip code, you can go to actionnetwork.com. And you type in your zip code, and then a pre-written letter will go to legislatures, will urge them to vote yes on May 31st to bring parole back to Illinois. Because there is no parole. It's only mandatory supervised release. Chairman, I want to spit a rap for you.
Come on with it.
I'm so woke, conscious, all facts. They say Black Lives Matter. Then why they kidnap us and store us in modern-day concentration camps? It's bigger than that. Mass incarceration, mandatory minimums, political hypocrisy. They gave me a voice to speak, so it's free them all and not just me. No parole in Illinois got me reaching to be free. Designed to contain, control, and confine our minds. Ironic, the same way communities struggle to survive. It's the way the system is aligned. Time to change your mind. Designers get rich, majors, corporations benefit from it. You can line up for kicks but can't vote when it's time to change shit. Your mind was never equipped. This ain't America, this America. KKK. White boys shoot, kill protesters, get a high-five bottle of water and be on his way. Corona and police is killing more on our black man and in the mommy way.
Goodbye.
I want to put that on my. I'm finna, hey, make sure I get this post. This show get posted on YouTube and everything. And make sure y'all reshare this. we gonna reinstitute our one prisoner, one contact. We had to shut it down for some contradictions. One prisoner, one contact. I want to list all prisoners. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody to commit to that. If you can help us with that too, brother. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody, y'all list, you know what I'm saying, different, you know what I'm saying, council on reinstitute the site for the one prisoner, one contact. Whew. Man. June 19th, Father's Day. We hit out the Chairman Fred's tombstone. I want to reinstitute the one prisoner, one contact campaign. All I need is a little charge, because sometimes you get demoralized, you know what I'm saying, but just a charge. And these calls are definitely a charge, you know what I'm saying. Still sharpen steel, and men and women sharpen men and women. Still sharpen steel, and men and women sharpen men and women. Real talk. All those who say they want to get out with the Cubs, get those letters written. Fremont, is the brother still online with us?
Don't sound like it.
Y'all been live.
Yeah, they're still on the line. Maybe.
Okay, y'all feel free, man. As long as we got y'all feel free. You know, we ain't tripping, you know what I'm saying? We get in. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? We can't, our conditions so intense, we can't afford the formalities, or just the ladies first. Man, get in, man. Like the sister said one time in LA, I'll never forget it, man. She, what's her brother's name? His sister, I never forget the interviewer called in. What about the lady? How did y'all feel? She said I was a Black Panther. I say, right on. We are, man, the people out here are captive, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course, we acknowledge the, you know what I'm saying, the different dynamics in our community, the men and women, the older you. But the thing is, man, there is a war waged upon the people. They, you know what I'm saying, they alternate, you know what I'm saying, switch games on who they hitting at different times. But again, they not, this system, man, and it's not even, all it's about the money. They had a piece on 60 Minutes one time. They had a machine injecting the pigs to have for the pigs to be reproduced. The guy say, I don't understand why you had this machine injecting the pigs, the sows, with semen from the pig, and if they do it naturally, the pigs will have more piglets and they will produce better pigs, better quality meat. The man looked at him like, what part of the process do you think we care about better? We producing a certain type of pig, a certain type of meat. Even when they, at the slaughterhouse, when they kill cows, they tell you, you can, in fact, they call the meat halal or something like, no stress. Certain communities, you can't bring certain meat up in there. They want to know, how was this cow slaughtered? You know what I'm saying? Did this cow know, was it put under stress? This animals, because the blood, you know what I'm saying, we talking scientifically now. I ain't gonna go politically, you know what I'm saying, because we talking the blood from the stress. Man, everything from the conceiving of our children, from everything is done under stress from us eating. I mean, every dynamic, the stress, man. Like, even I remember we take our property and they said, "What are you doing?" You want your property? I said, "I need to open the box." What's it? Well, you want it or not? I was signed under duress. Everything we do, every quote unquote decision from this, so everything is done under duress. Everything.
Yes, sir. You know, you were talking about the sports earlier about Kwame Brown, and they were the protesting and the things that they're not allowing. And the Kwame Brown, I'm not sure about, but I wanted to bring up the Olympics are banning any type of protest from anyone. You can't raise the fist. You know, no Tommy Carlos, no Tommy Smith. Was it Tommy Smith?
John Carlos. Tommy Smith. There was some other brothers should be acknowledged too that did not even go to the Olympics. That I forgot those other brothers' name. I think they're from San Francisco State. They didn't even go. And it should be noted too that George Foreman the next day went on the stage and waved the American flag. Go ahead. I mean, cut your calls. Go ahead.
I was just bringing up that, you know, throughout sports, Muhammad Ali, you know, him not going. He did his own protest by not going to the war. think it was the Vietnam War. But so now these Olympians this year in Tokyo, I believe is where it is, Tokyo, Japan, and I think they'll be cited some type. They may or may not be cited, but they're instructed not to do any type of protesting on the podium. Like if they win a medal or if they don't win a medal, they don't want to see none of that there. So sports I think has always been a platform where people express themselves. Some of them anyway. And you were talking about Ronald Green earlier, and Ronald Green, his murder was almost a year before George Floyd in almost a similar manner, besides the knee on the neck, just that the brutality of it on camera. He begged, he was shackled, he was drugged from here to there, and then, I guess he felt that those pigs had some type of consciousness or compassion or humanity, because he was like, I'm your brother, like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you treating me like this? And he, like I said, he was already handcuffed and shackled and punched, chokehold. And we see so many times in videos with black and brown people in messed up situations and being told to stop resisting. Now, it's like your body's natural reaction from being choked is to try to breathe. Whether you're trying to get the arm from around your neck or turn your face, breathe in a better position, or it's self-preservation. So you're going to naturally move because you're trying to live, you're trying to breathe. And it's like you are told to be still in that stressful situation. Your adrenaline is pumping and you're being killed. And you got to just lay there or sit there. A dog is biting you. A canine is sinking his canines into your leg or your arm or your back or whatever. And you, stop moving. This dog is biting me, but you want me to be still. You got a gun pointed at my head. All this yelling and shit going on, but I'm supposed to just be calm and just, okay, I'm just going to relax. And the body got a natural reaction for a fight or flight. I heard it's involuntary. It's going to kick in.
You got chicken. You chop a chicken head off. A chicken going to still move.
Say it again?
When you chop a chicken's head off, a chicken gonna still move. When you twist a chicken's neck off, the chicken still is gonna move. The spasms, death spasms.
Yeah. Well,
I'm off before I get the phone turned around. I was saying a chicken.
Like that, yeah. Chicken with his head cut off, still running around, yeah.
Yeah, these intense times.
My grandmother used to, we had chickens, and I used to see that on occasion. She would either wring his neck, like just twirl his neck, or cut it off, and I would see that and was like, what is going on? Why is he still running around? Like, yeah. See these type of things like this. And like you said, and when I first saw that video, I just heard your voice and, quoting Asada Shakur. Like, this cannot be normal. We cannot normalize it.
That's indeed. No doubt. Y'all make sure y'all get them. Y'all make sure y'all run that. Y'all hashtag that. You have heard calls, and I know we kind of got on the countdown of time, but this we're gonna follow too is Kwame Brown was the discussions and the race and class contradictions that's inclusive in the conversations, and this is and I know a lot of people have dismissed because sports has been something that people just instead of just the brawn or the physical aspects, but the political dynamics that the intricacies that are being expressed about just the breaking process, how the time and there are discussions now. I mean, this stuff that's right in your face. And like, look at the draft. Look at the how it goes. The block. Down to these men. I'm talking about with the underwear standing up there. There's nothing really. This system has not been transformed. There's been certain periods of quote unquote reform, but you look at that. I mean, you would think like I tell you, the master lock was named after because it was something that the colonialists had sold and marketed of this being the lock that the slaves could not break. That's where the word master lock comes from. This is if you got a history or something, you would think that, you know what, let's not have these athletes stand in their underwear on this block because this is too much. This history with the slave auction, but you look at it. I mean, other than color TV, really, as Malcolm X said, when you at the back of the plane and someone else is at the front of the plane, you don't go off on no bragging, braggadocio, thing about, the plane is going up. You still at the back of the plane. So there are different dynamics of technology happening, so on and so forth. But in context and contrast, someone talking about, well, you're in a prison, they can get emails now. I said, do you know what type of communication is going on the outside in the world? You have to put things in context. You know what I'm saying? And the reality, the beatings are still, and the raw reality is we have the comments. 16 years old, 34 years old, locked up. The guy in a cell, tied up, raped, and being stabbed. You hearing this? So not only is he dead, the trauma. You know what I'm saying? The powerlessness, the how a person feels they couldn't go help this man. You know what I'm saying? The breaking process when a sister ran away from the plantation, a pregnant woman, they just didn't go out there and they captured her, but they brought her back. They slit her stomach open. They stomped her fetus to death. And that fear, that terror, passed down generation after generation. In Maywood, people were to this day scared to mention Chairman Fred Hampton's name. To the 3 or 4 sisters on Mother's Day, they said, man, I never knew he stayed. They stayed a block away. The breaking process. So I'm just saying, with this tour we talking about, looking forward to it, man, but let's be very clear. Let's be very clear who we dealing with.
Yes, sir.
Let's be very clear. And there's certain times we got to put that pill in the applesauce. Cats talk that stuff, man. But when the rubber meet the road, man, this stuff, man, is heat come with this. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to assess it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And also, we want to send our cub condolences out.
Dude. Huh? Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah. I don't know if he tuning in, but definitely, I'll make sure the cousin, nephew, Spurs and Jake Winters. Yeah, I guess it'll be his niece, Jake Winters' niece, but Jake, Big Kip, who I was contact with, our family too, is also his sister. Those who don't know familiar, who Jake Winters is. In the movie, I'm referencing that Judas and Black Messiah. The one, it actually went down November 13th, 1969, south side of Chicago, 58th and Calumet. My brother Algie had portrayed Jake Winters, Spurgeon Jake Winters, defended himself. There's also, his niece. Also, welcome home again to Jerry Odinga Dunnigan, 45 years. I just seen a picture of him just with this hat on. It's on TikTok. It's on TikTok. Jerry Odinga Dunnigan, 45 years. You would hear stories about him. Never took the picture down to Chairman Fred that was in this cell. William O'Neill was directly involved and responsible, played a key role in him being locked up. It's about that time, y'all. Those who say they want to get down with us, we'll be contacting y'all again. Father's Day, we're making a big move down to Chairman Fred's grave. We'll keep y'all posted, y'all. Keep y'all heads up, eyes on the fist clench, y'all. Again, we're going to have this posted. It's on YouTube. Repost this. Let them know. I need them letters to Smith prison. I'm gonna bite my tongue with this one. It's hard to even call it the prison. This concentration camp in Georgia. What's happening down here in Illinois? You know what I'm saying? That bill, somebody posted up on here, repost it, reshare it, hashtag it. What's going down with the people, which includes